because we are what we think. Whatever stage of your practice is due to you only. No one is responsible for our success or our failure. That is the biggest thing. Lord Buddha has said, you become what you think. So that is true. So what the panelists have thoughts about themselves, how they change their life, how they change their practice, and how they will grow forward. That will be the skill sets which we will be learning today. And at the end, there will be an analytical poll in which you are also going to decide and tell us that what you want to do once the session is over here. So friends, I love my profession. Never talk negative about ICA and never talk negative about CA profession, because our life and our family life is depending upon this. So that is our goal today. So whatever panelists are going to be talk, whether it's in a positive or in balance or in negative way, please have an object that I love my profession and our profession should go. So we living in Hyderabad, we are practicing in Hyderabad. You must be having some goal to practice elsewhere also, but you settle down in Hyderabad. Or why you settle down in Hyderabad? That is the biggest reason. The population is 1 crore plus and it is still growing. 11,000 plus chartered accountants are there. Is that adequate to serve this population in Hyderabad? 40% are in practice, 60% are in job in Hyderabad. This is the approximate figure. The figure may change, but we are in this scenario. We are in Hyderabad. So how we should grow, or what should be the parameters? It's a IT hub, it's a pharma hub, biological industry is also growing here. It's having historical importance. So excellent living standards. And if these all things are there, there are lots of offices, banks, government departments. So for licensing, for decision making, Hyderabad is a capital city. Everything is possible here. So we must grow beyond other cities, and our practice should also grow beyond as compared to other cities. So in CA practice management, I am just brushing up on what topics we are going to discuss. The goal management, as pointed out by Nilesh Vikamse sir, there must be some goal in your practice. Why you join the practice? There must be a goal of giving service to the client. There must be some goal for satisfaction of your own knowledge, or you want a success. Then there are different types of goal. Your goal and your firm's goal, that should match. If the partner's goals are mismatching, then how the firm will go? Then the goal should be followed, it should be revised, it should be again changed, and there should be reward for achievement of goals. Many times the work is done in our office, but we don't reward. So if we achieve the goal, then only we will grow forward. And if you are not having a goal of your practice, तो ये धरती भी गोल है, गोल नहीं है आपके प्रैक्टिस में, तो गोल गोल ही रह जाएंगे सारे. ऐसे ही जिंदगी आगे बढ़ेगी. So the goal must be specific. And what should be the goal of a CA practice? From proprietor to partnership, from partnership small to large, large to multidisciplinary, multidisciplinary to multi-state, multi-country, or specialization. So each panelist and each participant is having a different goal. So you must define your goal. If you are a proprietor, move to partnership. If you are partnership, move to the next level. So please define the goal. Then to achieve that goal, once you decide the goal, then you must have a proper team to execute, and that is called manpower management strategies. Nilesh sir has already given us all the things. I am not going to repeat it. And because manpower management is the key to success, then comes the office management. Why? If an office is a good, then our life will be more better, because office is a second home. In 24 hours of our life for a day, we sleep 7 to 8 hours. So अपनी जागृत अवस्था, the energy hours are 14 to 16 hours. Out of that, we spent in our office 8 to 10 hours. So more energy hours are given to our office rather than to our residence. So it should be like a second home. So better office management, time management, infrastructure neat and clean, that is the key. Then technology management. This can be a a goal of someone, that he has a good manpower, good office, then he needs to go to the next level of technology management. This can be the goal of someone. Then client management. This is a continuous process going on. Vikram sir has already given how to manage our client, how to interact, the meetings, the learning, the evaluating the clients, ABC analysis, all things need to be done, and how our panelists have done that, we will listen to them. Then comes the next important is the client management, and then comes our knowledge management. When we discuss with our young professionals, they say that updating knowledge is one of the key challenge. Friends, this should not be the challenge. It should be in our hand. We should upgrade ourselves day by day. So how to enhance knowledge management, how to create library, how to organize our staff and give training to them and distribute knowledge. Don't keep it at yourself. How to do that? The training program should be organized in office, and the one who is dedicated and updated chartered accountant will be always in demand. If you ask some person that how is your practice, he say better practice, good practice. He will say like that only. When he will say, when he is managing his knowledge. And financial management, I think in more detail, Vikram sir has given us how to manage the fees, how to charge the fees, how to recover the fees. And this can be the goal of someone, that I want to increase my practice 20%, 30%, 50% from last previous, or a segmental practice, I want to increase this segment from this level to that level. That can be the goal, adding new partners, and at last risk management, whether I will survive in my practice. If I am specialized in GST, whether it will grow beyond a certain level. I am in income tax, I am in indirect tax, internal audit, or whatever area. So please analyze your risk, and this should change. We have an example of a CA from last 10 years. Whenever I talk to him, boss, how is your practice? Fees is not required. I doesn't get articles, I doesn't get manpower. Okay. Then I met him after 5 years, same. Fees is not recovering, manpower is not there. If the risk is the same from last 10 years, then what you are doing? Your risk should change every year. We must take action, we must identify the risk and then remove the risk, and risk will change. So what is next? Next, let's talk positive. There is a light at every end of the tunnel, and to enlighten us, we have with us our panel. So we will start one by one discussing with our panelists. Friends, 5 question sets are there for each panelist. I think we will start with the young member. You can take your own mic. Abhishek, you have a mic in your hand. Okay. So he is a young member. He has just joined the practice. So Abhishek, why you have chosen CA practice as compared to job? Because 90% are going in job and 10% are coming in practice.
First, hello.
Yeah. Split.
Hello.
आराम से बोलिए. Stress free.
Good evening, one and all. The first thing was there was actually no clarity in what I had to know. I had in my mind after qualifying. So first reason was that, and the second reason was I always wanted to I mean, since there was no clarity, I wanted to touch the avenues which I have not earlier gone through it. The avenues, new avenues. I was trying for new avenues. And the third thing is independence. Like this was the first thing, and I wanted to try something new. So, whether I am capable of handling the matters independently or not, that was the thing that came to my mind.
Yeah. Then next, what is your goal in CA practice?
Probably representing young members. My goals are always sitting in beside me. So always the goals are, I mean, to go to the either fourth or fifth or even, at the more higher levels. And team build up is my goal. I wanted to make a good team. Of professionals whom I can nurture and train them. But still that has a long way to go. But that is a long term goal.
Okay. Then, which is the most critical strategy in your current stage of practice? Because you have just started the practice, which strategy do you find it's challenging?
Challenging is if we talk about the challenges, they're all known to one and all that the employee is a challenge. Training.
Manpower management.
Yeah, manpower management, as well as fee collection, and that is a major issues which I'm facing at this point in time. And apart from that, I don't have any I want to grow, but I'm not finding a real this thing. What is the path in which I
Okay.
need to walk to grow, and I'm not able to add new members to my team.
Fine. Then, what is missing in your CA practice management strategies that you want to take up?
First thing is
Actually,
experience.
Okay.
Experience of handling things independently. That is the first thing, and probably I'm lagging behind in managing certain things with regard to the management of staff and
Okay.
clients. That is the
Yeah. So, yes, Abhishek, and now, according to you, what is the future of CA practice?
I think that future of CA is I think it as on a positive side, because there are a lot of avenues which are remained untouched by few of our seniors, and always there are new opportunities coming, as very well said by the earlier speakers.
Okay. So, thank you, Abhishek. As we have given a limited time of 5 minutes, he has finished his opinion in 5 minutes, but other panelists can also take their own time. And we are happy that he is a young, but he has expressed candidly that what are the issues. And this should be the inspiration for other youngsters, that you must explain your issues in transparent way and in a candid way. And he has said that manpower management and the fees management is the issue. So how to take up that? At the end, concluding remarks are by Nilesh sir. So we will discuss that. Now we move to the second panelist, Gaurav.
Umesh sir, before I start answering, it's actually my privilege and honor to be here, friends, because I'm sharing a dais with my principal, Vikram sir, under whom I did my internship. And thank you, sir.
And friends, this is the example of professional brotherhood. एक गुरु ही शिष्य को जन्म देता है. A teacher gives birth to the student, and the student is today on the stage. How proud the teacher must be feeling. Yes. Yeah, Gaurav.
Yes.
Now in the stage of your practice, how many years you have completed?
So
of practice?
in 2012 January,
Yeah.
started
So
my own
near
practice
about 10
with my
years?
co-founder partner Raghu.
10 years. Yes. So what are the areas of growth in your practice at the current stage?
Okay, so I'll put it like this. There are a growth of areas which are in a practice and where those are available. Because what are the areas and where it is available. So if you look at the entire practice where we are working on, it is on the startup ecosystem. And being in Hyderabad, startup is on the rise. So in the startup, there is an entire bouquet of services which you can offer as a VCFO, right? From bookkeeping, payroll processing, to the direct tax, GST, and on the FEMA advisory. And the best part of a startup is that there are a serious rounds of funding which happens. And in our engagement letter, clearly we carve out and we put it as exclusion from the scope that any fundraising activity happens during that point of time, there will be add-on services called. And it is a word which we have coined it called as bridge CFO. And for that premium service, fees will be charged over and above. So what happens is that when during the fundraising activity, the entire firm is towards the client in making that round as a success. Right from your interns, managers, partners, CA partners, and you can't just charge monthly retainership which we are
Okay.
charging on VC.
So your
So
growth
that
area
entire-
of practice is startup
Startup,
ecosystem.
and what happens now, earlier we were on the selling side. Now those startups have, so basically the Hyderabad, Telangana first true unicorn is our client, and now we have been on the buying side as well.
Wow.
And in the entire ecosystem, the startup goes and sits in the large organization.
Yeah. Now, do you feel financially secured in your CA practice at
So-
this stage?
So being a practicing chartered accountant, we are nothing but, we are the entrepreneurs. And from the day one, you have to earn, money. And every day has to be counted as a billing day for the firm, whether it is directly or indirect. And yes, at this juncture, we feel financially secured. And it's a firm which has to feel financially secured rather than the partners, because the next layer, which is also there in the firm, we should ensure that they get their payments timely.
Yeah. Why we have put up this question is because many are moving towards share markets and passive income and other source. So we wanted him to specifically put a point on this, that whether he is feeling financially secured.
Just to add,
Yes.
Umesh bhai, money should make money. That I'm saying now, because I wouldn't have said that in early days of practice, because making money was itself was a tough. But once you reach to the certain level, we should ensure that money makes
Correct,
money.
correct. Now, what is the most critical strategy current practice?
Right now, if you ask, probably, so basically, 3 or 4 years back, when me and my co-founder partner have, thought on that the next hierarchy should be there in the firm. It's not that only you can get the work and you have to do the work. So hierarchical position has to be developed, and that has to be not only vertical, horizontal as well. So you have to have a spread in that hierarchy itself, so that, in case of any emergency, the other partner takes up on that task, or team can takes up. And the second strategy, probably, which we feel critical since couple of years, always we should have N plus resource in the organization. When you get the opportunity, you shouldn't be worried about which resource you have to do, because the turnaround time is so less, because the promoters, these are so dynamic
Okay.
that they expect each and everything to be a quick time.
Yeah. And according to you, what is the effect of technology on CA practice?
Effect of technology on CA practice, probably I'll put it in two ways. One is a technology to manage your own office, and second is technology in execution of your work. So both are very important. You should have office management software, as well as you should have tools wherein you can execute your work fast, probably a Power BI, or what Guru sir told in the morning.
And are you using these technologies?
Office management software, yes, we have started, because see, there used to be a
Which
lot of
software?
Yeah. So basically, it's an Ahmedabad-based software vendor, and ultimately, as in the morning session, speaker told that tool is we shouldn't be evaluating how best is a tool. It is how best we implement the tool.
Correct. And at the end, how you look to the future of CA practice?
So in the entire decade, and before setting up my own practice, so I was at EY, and the profession has always been positive, and it will continue to be, because it is ultimately we as a professional who makes a CA practice to be bright. And more than that, only one note for all the CA friends: the practice will flourish. Please take care of your health, because we will enjoy the perks of the profession only when we are there on the earth. Because last week I have lost one of my very good friend who is a partner at EY, just the age of 43, heart attack. So that is shaken us. So that was a personal note.
Yeah. So thank you, Gaurav, for the candid explanation, and we are really proud of you that you are in a very different area of startup ecosystem and you feel financially secured. You again said that the key manpower management is the issue and technology should be used at fullest. And as you pointed out, health management is also one of the key areas in future. And you said that the practice is in positive note. So thank you, Gaurav. We will discuss more later on. Now we move to the young lady who is representing all the female participants on the stage, and she has a very big responsibility. She has a very big responsibility on her shoulder because she will be speaking her own word as well as the words of the all the female practicing members in Hyderabad. So, Rajambal ma'am, first question, what are the challenges faced by you in CA practice? Because as a woman member, there are a lot of challenges. A woman starts articleship at a different city under the different boss, and after post marriage he may shift the city, and then further in life there comes the delivery period, so there is a stagnancy and again there is a change. So multiple issues are there, but how you have overcome that?
All the issues you have pointed out, I don't think so now I have to point out the issues, at least half the part is solved for me. The biggest challenge that I have faced in practice, like sir said, could have been work-life balance. But I was raised by a mom who was a lawyer and who had much erratic working hours, like 8 hours in court and then come back and then, sit and work at home, burn midnight oil almost till the age we were graduating also. So once I knew I was stepping into a profession, I knew that with what piece of cake I was walking in. So I never had to complain about work-life balance because I know when I was going to play cricket, I had to take a cricket bat along with me. So it was there. The biggest challenge that I faced per se from my end was when I passed out. I still remember the day when I passed out and when I finally came to senses and I said that, yeah, I'm starting a firm. I never thought getting in clients would be so difficult because with our bosses and our principals, we have seen that they could refuse work. Okay, so something we thought, oh, all we need is one table, chair in my dad's garage and board, and we can refuse work from tomorrow. But eventually, it taught me a lot of discipline in my working capital management, and the biggest challenge was making the ends meet. Because when I used to ask clients for money, they used to say, your expenses would be taken care by your husband, so our payment can wait. People think, yeah, women, so let's just pay them off. Bechari, aise nahi rehta tha.
Okay.
So the delayed payments were really the biggest challenge, I think,
Yeah.
even till date I
Yes.
face.
And what is the most important lesson you learn from your clients?
Earlier, I used to think that never trust clients was the important thing that they were teaching me because nobody comes out clean and truthful. But I think the biggest, whatever I learned at work, I would like to call it experience that I have gained during my work. I would not say a lesson per se, but maybe one advice from a particular client I would like to say. We are working with that client almost for the last 8 years now, and he always used to tell me like, Rajan, you've got to technologically advance yourself. You are working. My articles is from 1999 to 2002. So basically, I come from a background of manual bookkeeping, manual audit, manual ITR filing till date, and although technology was pushed down the throat by e-filing and all of this, but was never embraced. We never embraced the technology. But when he taught me and he actually handheld and taught me, I think that's the greatest advice that we have got. And we were able to survive the pandemic because we slowly started absorbing the fact that this needs to be taken in.
Correct. Now, screen please. Next question. Yeah. Your experience with your professional colleague in CA practice, being a lady CA, to whom you ask your query, Do you have your woman WhatsApp group?
Okay,
Or how the other
Sir, you
professional
have
colleagues?
asked me a question which I think it will take an hour to answer. The journey started 10 years back, sir, in Hyderabad, where our branch, Hyderabad branch, was responsible. The management committee back then came and told us that you are a couple of few women we see in most of the programs. Why don't we celebrate a Women's Day for you? They don't know what they touched. Today we are more than 500 women in one group, and
Wow.
we meet. Thanks back then, and after that, Hyderabad branch gave me back then a freedom to conduct programs and have study circles as I like. So this year we are running the 10th year of our Lady CA group. We call it Prerna, and that group has given sisters to each other's, mentors to each other's, partners to our various firms.
Good.
So my experience in my professional colleagues, I'd like to answer that in two bits. One is my experience with other working women colleagues, and one with the male counterparts. All the women colleagues that I work with have loved me from the day one unconditionally. Few of them have thought me like their daughter or somebody who they see themselves 10 years, 12 years earlier. They were willingly ready to be my mentors from the day one, right from scolding me and right from holding hand and teaching. Male colleagues, senior members in Hyderabad are very, very approachable.
Good.
Whether Vikram
Yes.
sir,
Yes.
Murli sir, or A. Srinivas sir. So in my early days of my practice, whenever I used to have doubt, I used to take a notebook and I used to go sit in their offices. They'd say, wait till all the clients are gone.
Wow.
And one senior CA, he gave me an advice. Rajam, if you come with it as a case study, and what I tell you is a professional advice to a younger colleague, it is not billable. If you bring your client or the name of your client, it might become a billable service.
Wow.
So better be careful
Yeah.
about how you are asking.
Yeah.
Don't ask for a solution.
and
Come and ask for an advice. That was one of the advice.
Yeah.
So most of the senior members unconditionally are very, very, very helpful. From the people of my age group, when I was starting to practice, I was intimidated. I was treated badly. When after a few years I started to have my foothold and I started to get where I was. Yes. नहीं नहीं ये लड़कियों के बस का नहीं है. What the hell are you thinking you can do? Intimidated, treated badly. After a while, after 8-10 years of practice, I was treated with a lot of jealousy. Oh, you think you've come so far, you can go again. So that was the biggest roadblock. After that is crossed, now we have come to a mid-sized senior level. So now the younger colleagues, whether women or men, when they come to advise, it feels like, yeah, all the hard work, all the hurdles, all the efforts put in are like a memory
Yes.
now.
So thanks for your sharing the journey, the experience with your professional colleagues. And this is the foundation of our profession, to help the new upcoming members. And your seniors have helped you out. So you are today here. This is the important thing. Are you satisfied with the rewards you get in CA practice, in social or in financial way?
More than satisfied. Satisfied is a smaller word.
Wow.
It gives me time. It has given me so much respect in the society. It has given me so much time that I take 3 vacations every year. I just leave everything and go. And it has taken time. It has given me so much that whenever my mother calls, I can just put everything on a hold and I can go, because so many years of hard work into practice. Clients also understand, sir, I have to attend to my mom. Can we move the meeting tomorrow?
Good.
So yeah, the rewards are immeasurable
Yes.
amount of. Monetary is one end to it. There is no end if you are measuring the monetary reward. But as such, the quality of life could never have been better than
And
this.
this is very important point, that she is practicing and also looking to her mom. So we should not leave our family. Whenever we are in practice, we should balance it. And this is rewarding. And last question, quick question, future of a CA practice.
So this question I just answered to myself a couple of weeks back. I was going on the new side of the city to drop a friend and come back, and it was night time. I had seen a whole lot of commercial buildings come up only with a few lights here and there. And I was thinking to myself, when people have invested so much in real estate, they are going to let this out. When they are going to let this out in a couple of years from now, we are going to have more and more number of businesses and people working in Hyderabad. So are we in the right time, in the right place to be able to serve them? What should be our scale-up strategy looking at the lighting of the new city? So I think the future is always asking ourselves a question: are we in the right time, in the right place, with the right kind of people?
Okay, thank you, Rajambal ma'am, and you have shared your all good and bad experience. Thanks for that, because that will be inspiring for other female members also to join the practice. Now we move to Mithilesh sir, the young and smart person. Mithilesh sir, you have grown from your young age to this level. So please slide on the screen. What are the key areas to focus in case of expansion of a CA practice? Because you have expanded your practice. So what was your focus for expansion?
I think it's all about the people, the kind of people that we select in the firm, the kind of partners that we select, the quality of the mindsets, and the parallel teams that we generate, and also the office infrastructure, the location of office, and the kind of fields that we are selecting to practice are very, very important. The way we build up ourselves, the way we motivate ourselves within office is very, very key. The kind of office culture that we develop, the kind of goals that we set as leaders is very, very important. So once we have a clear mindset as leaders, what are we trying to achieve and what are we going to give as hereditary to the next generations is very, very important for you to grow, so that they own the brand, they own that office culture. So I think it's all about the people, sir.
Yeah, good. Then next, how you manage emotional equations with your partners and staff in difficult times? कभी झगड़ा हो जाता है, कोई नहीं करता है, या doesn't come up to the mark, or anybody leaves. How you?
I think there is no CA firm without any dispute or without any arguments among the partners. But what I feel is all the informal discussions, knowing each other very well, understanding the expectations of the other partners, giving them what they want, and ability to sacrifice, ability to come down. I think the founding members of the organization should always be grounded. They should always come down to a level of understanding even the newly qualified people, and they should be interacting with them. They should be ready to give them designations. They should be ready to generate their own teams. So I think if the informal discussions are to a certain extent helpful, but more than that, understanding the other person and giving them that space is what will give us much more better results.
Perfect. Then what are the leadership qualities that a CA should have in case of a partnership, if a proprietor is there and he want to goes to partnership?
I think leadership is all about having a vision and not being fearless, and setting the right context for the rest of the people. More than anything else, I think it is more about the communication and implementing the communication and implementing the promises that we make to the people. If we take care of the people, obviously, I think most of the qualities will come up, even in the lower level, second level, third level as well. But always allow and give opportunity to the new people is what I believe in. So I've always grown like that. So I think that's what is missing in most of the firms, sir. So they don't allow the young kids to come up and express themselves as well. So
because the question here is very important. The proprietor thinks that he will take away my clients, he will take away my resources.
that's the whole
so that
problem.
fear needs to be removed.
I think we should allow them and own the, if the ownership quality is developed right from the day one, I think that's what is missing in most of the firms, where they feel that if you give too much access to clients, if you give too much access to your IP or your technological things, I think they will take away and they'll start their own firm, or they'll take away your own things.
Yeah.
But I think always give opportunity to the new people and make quick decisions. I think these are the two things that will impact.
I would want to sort of chip in here. I have not chipped in for the first, and please record what Mithilesh said, and please revisit this whatever he said.
Yes.
And I'll only share my own example. See, we are an 85-year-old firm, and we are coming from a family. We are 3 brothers in practice who inherited the practice. And whatever Mithilesh said, currently we are implementing for last 10, 15, 20 years, and there's been a sea change. See, the mindset of control, mindset of having everything to the family or to the person who started the firm. And I really appreciate that you started very early as far as relaxing is concerned with
Yeah.
controls. It'll be a game changer. It has been a game changer for us for last 15, 20 years from the time we have started that. So I would earnestly suggest please visit, because he's spoken very quickly, very
Yeah.
fast. Each sentence is very important on the people side, and implement it. That's the only reason I want to do.
Yeah, correct. And Mithilesh, what is the impact of networking and social contacts in CA practice? Because there is a dilemma between the young members that they want to join the social clubs and they will get the clients, and they miss the balance of the social life and the office life. So how it should be balanced, and how you
I
have
think
balanced?
it's the core fulcrum of the CA practice as such, sir. If you are well connected, if you have the right conversations with the right people, I think people remember everything that we talk whenever we are in networking events as well. But the point is, if you are able to create that impact within that 1-2 minutes, they will remember you, they will recognize you. I think it's just not attending functions and sabke paam padna, sabke ye karna, that is not as important. I think if you are a capable person and if you are striking the right conversations with the right people, I think you will grow. Only thing that I want you to demonstrate properly is having the right connects is very important, and having very good personal rapport with power centers who are well connected is also very important. So always believe in that, and start making good connections right from a very young age.
Correct. And at last, how is the future?
I think I'm very optimistic about the CA practice, sir. I think there is not even there's not going to be even one day where there will be a deficiency of opportunities for chartered accountants. Whatever changes, whatever might happen, the economics, the financial aspects, the tax and regulatory aspects will need chartered accountants, and there are plenty of opportunities. Only thing is we need to build up ourselves. We need to create that armory. We need to create that kind of space, and I believe that there's always space for the best. So
Correct.
there should not be even a single day where we should feel that we will not be existing.
Perfect. So thank you, Mithilesh, for your sharing the experience in precise and in concise way. Now we move to Murli sir. Murli sir, what is the key for long-term partnership?
I would definitely say trust. Trust is the key, because ultimately a partnership is a relationship between people. Unless you come from a family firm, it's a relationship between total strangers very often. Maybe they're friends for a short while before they get into a partnership. But even that first step would be based on the belief and the trust. It would be based on the belief and the trust that they can sail together. And nobody would step into an arrangement with the belief that it would be in the short term. So I think it's trust. Saying, there is sacrifice in partnership, I think would be an overstatement, in my opinion. It's not really necessary, even to believe that somebody is sacrificing something for someone else. I think that won't take the relationship too far. So that's what would lead to friction, that would what lead to breakups eventually. So I would believe trust at the first step, and trust all along the journey is what matters.
Yes, sir. And sir, what are your expectations from your juniors in office, that how the new CA should join your office, how you will look to them or analyze them?
In today's situation, I would say anybody I take in, whether it's a young person or someone I take in laterally, someone who comes from an experience in another firm or from a different area of experience altogether, maybe from employment, the expectation is that he should fit into the firm at the earliest possible. I won't say from day one, but I would expect that they would quickly understand the culture of the firm, requirements of the firm, and they must understand that they are there to serve the firm, not that the firm is there to serve their cause. Only then they would become a better part of the firm, and they would quickly integrate themselves into the firm, and they would add to the growth of the firm and consequently their own growth too.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yes, sir. And sir, any experience with professional brothers or surrounding of code of conducts and ethics and non-compliance of that you want to share?
I'll skip that question.
Okay. Okay. Then what is the success mantra of yours in CA practice, sir?
Definitely the knowledge. That's very, very important. Knowledge, I would say the first step in knowledge is not getting to merely qualify in the exam, really understanding what you've studied in the right perspective, and with the belief that you have the ability to apply that knowledge, commercialize that knowledge. I've seen people who take pride in merely passing the exam, but not being able to apply. When I see their interpretation skills, their application skills, I think that's one real burden on the Indian society. What I've seen is that people who come from outside India, they are more application focused, application oriented. Our culture has taught us for centuries that acquiring knowledge is itself a great achievement. I fully agree with that. I have no disagreement with that. But I, at least, having been at this point of time in the profession, maybe something happened in between that really made us stay content with acquisition of the knowledge and not really apply it to the best of its possibilities. So I think that's very, very important that we learn, we also learn how to apply what we learn, and even the application itself in itself is a learning process. So that learning process has to go on. We have to remain students throughout.
Correct. So that is very important learning. At this stage also, he says that you must be a student. So this is very important for young practicing members coming up. So learn every day. Now, how is the future of CA practice according to you?
Definitely, I'm very upbeat about it. I've seen the profession evolve from a very small number. Today we are into lakhs of people as a total population. We are into lakhs of people being the area of practice or in industry. And there's no stopping the profession as such. I would only be worried about the quality of the people coming in. If the right people come in, if the right kind of practice areas are selected, I'm sure there's enormous opportunity. Definitely the age-old focus areas of bank audit is gone. Tax audit is almost dead. Audit per se will also become more of a routine thing unless we can add real value to it. And Daya has already intimidated us this morning saying that the thresholds are going to be lowered. So with all these things happening, there's still those who can really ride the hurdles and then run the steeplechase. I think there's enormous opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom that were much required for we all young members in practice. Now we come down to Vikram, sir. Recently a movie has also come from your name, sir, Vikram, and you are the most important panelist at the end.
Vikram there is a terrorist, right?
No. Yeah. Sir, What are the qualities you look in a fresh CA?
Before I answer that question,
Yes, sir.
I first want to thank you for 3 or 4 things. One, thanks to you, I met Mr. Vikamsi for the first time in an extended thing, and we are in the same dais for the first time.
Yes.
So thank you for that.
And
Second, thanks to you again. I'm glad that Gaurav is sitting along with me on stage. This is something which I will always remember. I'm also glad, thanks to you, that my fellow student Rajambal is with me. Both of us attended the same valuation classes. So I really enjoyed sitting behind her and being taught valuation, some classes which I was teaching earlier. But then now the new rule said that you have to learn them. I also must thank you for putting me and Murali on stage. We have been in regional council many years together. And I ran away from the council. He didn't. He became the chairman.
Not because of me.
Not because. Anyway, having said that, to answer this question, what are the qualities you look for fresh CA? The only quality I look for in a fresh CA is enthusiasm. When I interview a fresh CA, really I wouldn't ask him many questions on knowledge because he's already passed a tough exam. So what little I can ask will only be a farce. But what I would track during his early days with me is his enthusiasm. I want him to be enthusiastic about many things, about learning, about being curious. I keep telling my assistants, don't do audit on the voucher of the transaction. Try and find out gossip if the MD is coming on time. No, you have to be curious. You have to, if you are not curious and if you are not a natural skeptic, then many things will miss you. And those things will come only if you are enthusiastic. That's the first thing I would look for in a fresh CA. The second thing is something which I heard many years ago in one session in Manthan. I'll explain Manthan later. But someone defined a good professional. A good professional is one who delivers work on time without supervision.
wow.
I really like that. So this is what I would look for in a fresh CA. When I ask him to do some work, let's say, when are you finishing this income tax return? And if he says, sir, I think by Friday morning he does it. I am expecting that he has judged what are his other assignments, what is this assignment, how much does it take to get this, and does he have the knowledge to do that, and if he has any resources he needs, whether he has judged it, and then he has said that I will deliver it on Friday morning.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to come, if I had asked him on Monday, I don't want to go back till Friday morning to say, have you delivered?
Correct.
Because a good professional is one who delivers on time without supervision.
Yes.
So
that's-
I would like to track my chartered accountants, new chartered accountants, to find out how much they can deliver on time, of course, with quality.
yeah.
These are the two things I would
This
say.
is very important. And sir, do a CA need other sources of income to satisfy his financial security?
Does a lawyer need other source of income? Yes. Doctor? Yes. Engineer? Yes. Plumber? Yes. Why not a CA? Having said that,
Correct.
the early years of any practice are very difficult. But I think because I don't see students here, but I see many people who are already in practice, and I like the word what Abhishek said about independence. If you weather the storm in the first 5-7 years of practice, then you would like to enjoy the independence you have. And that weathering the storm would mean that you are compromising on your financial securities. At that point in time, if you have a wealthy father or someone who can subsidize it, nothing like it. I mean, I have no objection. But when I don't know what you mean by other sources of income. I hope they're all
It's
legitimate.
passive income or non-passive, because many people are thinking in
Yes,
young
yes.
age they are going in share market.
It will help.
and
There
it
is no doubt about
so,
that.
and they are giving less time in practice and more in share market.
Well, I would say that, I mean, one of the qualities I expect, and I wanted to say this a little later, is that you're always a test to deliver expertise. Every client, every session, what is expecting from you is expertise, not knowledge. And if you are in the share market, you're losing time on expertise.
Thank you, sir. And sir, the most important question: at what stage should a CA retire? Because young people feel that the old guns are not moving. How we will go to battle?
No, before I answer this question, I assume you're older than me, right?
I'd also like to say something about it.
Yeah. I don't know you well enough to ask that question. So I don't know why you chose me. Anyway, I'll tell you.
No, sir.
I have a father-in-law at home. He's a pediatrician, 92 years old. He goes to hospital every day at 9 o'clock, comes back at 2, except during COVID. So I keep asking him this question: why don't you retire? He says, as long as I'm enjoying my work, I don't want to retire. The second thing is, you should stop practicing if you think that you're not delivering expertise. And this is very, very important. It's very easy because looking at the wide experience I have, I'm 42 years in the profession now. With the wide experience I have, when a client asks me a question, I can fool him with a very general answer, right? And make it appear to him that it's an expert who's talking. But that is not what he wants, for one. Maybe I fooled him. But if I was sitting in his chair, would I be happy with that answer?
Good.
I would be happy only when there is some value input from me in that conversation. As long as I can deliver value input, I should be in practice.
Correct. Thank you, sir. And do you feel the next generation will join the CA profession, sir?
It's a very difficult question to answer because I don't know who the next generation is.
From your family or from surrounding?
Oh, from
you
my
see?
family. Yeah, I mean, if this question was asked before this CA exam, I would have said, I don't know, but luckily my brother's son has passed.
Wow.
So I would say, and he's joined us. So, but my children, they have not joined my firm, and I never asked them to join. Obviously, I am not an inspiring chartered accountant for them. But the next generation in a family run firm like me, it's difficult. Most of them have become lawyers, not chartered accountants. I would guess, I think that the last 20 years of India's development has opened many, many opportunities. And in those opportunities, CA, at least for my generation, my next generation, CA is not top priority.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And
You have another question, please?
last question
Yeah,
is there.
No, go ahead.
Sir, according
You
to
wanted
you,
to say something on CA
yeah, you
retirement?
can, yeah, future of a CA practice according to you.
See, I think this question should be answered in 2 stages. One, if you ask me what is the CA practice in the near term, I would say it's very negative. I wouldn't say it's positive. The statistics which Nilesh showed us shows that there are not many people joining practice, and I would think that that is true of Hyderabad also. We cannot wish away what is happening where most of the smart chartered accountants are going. They are going to the big four, right? Because of a very firm, higher than normal opening salary. And that is an attraction. There is no point in denying them that attraction. So if I'm given a choice to join a multinational between 10 to 12 lakhs in the city and to join a next level firm like us at what, 6 lakhs or 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 8 lakhs, then most students would prefer to join the multinational firm because it also carries a stronger brand. This will continue for some time. And while this continues, I think that in the near term, there will be lesser number of people having faith in the CA practitioner. But let us look at the longer term. In the longer term, what happens is, there are 2, 3 trends which are happening. One, of course, is the technology and the data accumulation, large data analytics, and in all this, I think that there are chartered accountants who have these expertises and who can see these opportunities will rejoin practice. I have no doubt about it. The second thing that will happen is that actually tax representation and advocacy has suffered in the last 5 years. But I think that gap needs to be filled, and clients will demand that there must be more tax advocates.
Correct.
You can see what's happening in the big four. There are very few tax advocates as much as happening outside the big four.
Yeah.
And that is a huge gap that deserves to be filled. And I think that will mean that more people will see that opportunity in taxation, in representation, in advocacy. The last thing I would like to say, why I think in the longer term it will still do well, is that is the logical thing. Economy is growing. More people need us. And you can't wish away an accountant. You can wish away the accountants through artificial intelligence. You can't wish away his intellect. And luckily for us, thanks for the exam, even now I get nightmares over the exam. Thanks for the exam, we have a firm DNA in what we are trained for. Very few professions have this firm DNA. So, and I always test myself on this, I must tell you that. I take the as recent paper as an accounts paper and I try to solve it. And I find I can do about 30 to 40% of that accounts paper. Then I find, oh, I'm not bad, I'm still surviving. And I know I am not special. I think most of us, if you apply your mind, in accounts, you can do it. You can't do it in auditing because the world has transformed in the last 40 years. But because that is DNA. And that DNA is needed for the next 100 years.
Correct.
We will do well.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
No.
Yeah.
You have something to say about retirement.
Yeah, yes. Okay, sir.
So going through the questions that you put before Vikram, I'd like to answer question 2 and 3 together. So when should a CA consider retirement? I would say there could be a retirement based on the agreement. I'm sure you're talking about the context of a partnership. For an individual, there's no compulsion. For an individual, he would retire more out of compulsion than by contract. Either on maybe his feeling too old or weak, he might retire. But whereas in a firm, it's very important that there should be a retirement to ensure that fresh water flows under the bridge most of the time. And in a firm that doesn't have a retirement, you can be very sure that even the thought process of looking at a succession plan with clarity will never emerge. Now, in the alternative, if you go to question 2 and read it along with question 3, we know for a fact that a lot of members in practice also have other sources of income, which means not necessarily something to really complain about, but they also make sure they have an auxiliary source of income to support themselves, which is perfectly all right, because for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, we do not know what duration it takes for someone to succeed in the initial years. So in that process, I think one should retire from the profession when they feel very quickly that that other source of income becomes the main source of income. That will augur well for the profession. It will also augur well for the individual. So retirement is not something that is to be read as synonymous with superannuation. That's what I feel.
Yes, thank you, sir.
I just want to add something which I suddenly remembered. I was asking this question once to my wife, as to when should I retire? Then she told me that I am an artisan chartered accountant. So I said, what do you mean by that? He said, you are hardly a chartered accountant because you do 10 other things in life. But what I got from her is this. I do 10 other things in life and I pursue 2 hobbies. One of the hobbies I pursue is because once I visited Mr. Pradeep Shah's office. Pradeep Shah is a chartered accountant, but later India management venture. And I noticed that he collects old maps and prints. So I asked him, what are these maps all over your office? Then he gave me a piece of advice which I would like to give to all of you, especially those who are young. He said, always pursue a hobby, which when you pursue the hobby, at least for the next 20 years, people think you are a mad guy. But when you retire, that is what will make you survive for the next 120 years.
Yes.
I have been collecting wonderful maps. I have one of the finest map collections in India. But my people at home, my colleagues, when you come to my office, all of them think I am mad.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you both of you for your discussions, words of wisdom, and we are privileged that you have shared many things which will be inspiring for all of us. Now, at the end, before Nilesh sir conclude the session, because Nilesh sir has taken all the discussion of panelists on his letterhead, and we will discuss the concluding remarks. Let's move toward the next step, and one of the important step of today's discussion, that is the thoughtful opinion poll. The poll is already there in your WhatsApp group. Please open that opinion poll number 2. Please do it fast, because we have a less time, and I think that opinion poll is visible to you all in your WhatsApp group. Please open it. Are you able to see this? Okay. So the first question to you at the end of our discussion is, what is your view on growth in practice in your city as compared to the last year? Your growth, if you are earning say 50 lakhs, what you proposed for the next year? Then what is your view on growth of economy of the city? Because we are practicing in Hyderabad, many has given a already opinion that they are not having network or a branch outside the city. So what is the growth of Hyderabad in percentage? Then which are the growth areas of CA practice according to you all? Income tax, GST, audit, management consultancy. Nilesh sir has already discussed what is mean by the management consultancy. Then fourth question, which is the most challenging strategies in CA practice, in your CA practice? Manpower, Abhishek ji ne kaha hai ki being a new CA, manpower is issue. Finance, very less. Then knowledge management, as Murli sir has said, that the person, the CA having a knowledge will survive. Then client management, what is the critical strategy in your CA practice? Then fifth question, are you willing to grow in CA practice? And this is very important question for you all, because you attended today. Since morning we are discussing a lot. So whether you are ready to change from proprietorship to partnership, or admission of new partners, merging of the firms, opening of the branches outside the city or state, or specialization, because in case of proprietors this can be one of the goal, being specialized in a particular area. Then what is your overall view on CA practice? This was a common question for the all panelists. Now this is also the common question for all the participants. Please give your opinion. Then, do you have annual meet of clients? Nilesh sir, this is one of the important question which we have asked. Do you have annual meet of clients? Do you meet your clients annually? Do you discuss with them? Do you put before what you have achieved? In our firm in Aurangabad, we also do that. From last 10 years, I am doing that, and I have gained a lot, and I make a feedback form, and the name of the feedback is audit of your auditor. And we ask them the questions about our firm, our manpower, our fee structure, our infrastructure, and our clients gives the responses on that, and we change according to that feedback sheet. So do you do that? If yes or no. Then question number 8, do you have office management software implemented in your office? Please be candid. Not have, but you have it, but not fully implemented or fully implemented. Do you have an annual growth plan of your office? We discuss a lot, new budget has come, madam has made important changes in GST, income tax, many companies also make their budgets. Do we make our firm's budget? Do you have an annual plan? And do you follow that plan, or have you accomplished that or partly accomplished? Please give your opinion. And the last, today's feedback of the session. What is your feedback? 108 participants have already contributed in the opinion poll. So I am going to show that results of, if anybody is having technical issue, please let me know. And these results will be circulated to all the participants. So don't worry, you will get all the soft copies. Now these are the results in front of you. 113 participants. Number 1, what is your view of growth of practice? Negative 60, negative very less, 4% says, 3.5% said it's a negative growth. Why there is a negative growth in your practice? Please analyze. Look at the others. Same level says 16%. So at least they are surviving in practice. Those who are in negative level, please make a positive change in your life. And how to make it? We all are there. We will help you out. Please feel free to discuss with your seniors and we all. Then up to 10%, 19% feel that their practice will grow up to 10%. Actually, inflation index, we all know it's a 10% rise every year. So the same level of practice will be there if we aim for 10%. And 60% says that more than 10%. So this is a positive view from all the participants, and this should be the goal. We must aim more than 10%. It should be around 20% to 25% each year. Now how to achieve it? There are number of ways: organic growth, unorganic growth. If your clients are not giving you that much of fees, go for the new client. If the city is saturated, then go for the another city, but achieve that growth, or start a new service in your office. That can be the one of the key. Then what is your view of growth of economy? Above means the growth of Hyderabad will be in positive way. 71% says that. Normal 28%, and below says the 1%. Now this is contrary to above. See here, Hyderabad city is growing. Yes, everybody say, 71% say yes, and few says that we will remain at the same level or we will grow up to 10%. So the city is growing and I am not growing, then that is a big question with me. I have to change the course of my CA practice. That is very important finding from this, because in many surveys, there is a negative growth in city, in small cities, but Hyderabad is a capital city, so the response here is in very positive way. Then we come down to next question. What are the growth areas of practice? This is very, very important. Income tax, look at the growth area, 4%. And how much percentage of fees is coming from income tax in your firm? Please analyze. If you are relying more on the fees of income tax and the future of income tax is less, then the growth will also be less. Then comes GST. 19% says that GST is a growth area. How much percentage of fees in your firm is from GST? If that is matching, then you will have some growth. Then comes the audit, very less. Only 1% says that there is growth in auditing. So you can maintain your practice if your fees is having more from auditing firm. But if you want to grow more than 10%, as many have given that we will grow 10% and more, and if they are in audit, then they have to take more efforts. And biggest question, management consultancy. 76% say that there is a growth in management consultancy. But frankly, it's a reverse. How many of you are having 75% of fees from management consultancy? Just raise the hand. Only 2, 3, 4 hands. Others, they may not have that much of percentage from management consultancy. So the world is going toward management consultancy, but in my firm there is no fees coming from management consultancy than where I am. So we have to think from that angle, because the perception of future is different and the reality of ours is different. So please check the reality and act accordingly. Then which is the most challenging strategy in your CA practice? Manpower management, 50%. And friends, this is going to be a universal problem. आप स्टार्टअप हो, नया प्रैक्टिस शुरू किए हो तो भी प्रॉब्लम, इट मिडल एज, लार्ज फर्म, सेम. So if it's a problem everywhere, then we have to be more active in managing people, like Mithilesh sir has told. So manpower management is the key, and I will request from our Hyderabad branch, Deepak ji, please take the sessions on manpower management, because this is the issue our practicing members are facing. Then comes the knowledge management. Friend, this is a risk. I think this should not be the critical strategy. According to me, knowledge should not be a risk for a CA. If 22% feel that the knowledge is the risk, then please give your list of subjects where you want to be expertise, and the branch will arrange the functions and the seminars and the lectures, because knowledge should not be the risk of a CA. Then comes the client management, 17%. Yes, this is one of the critical area. We have to work more on this, but more important is the manpower management, and this is also the key to success. The CA who is able to manage his manpower will lead the practice. Then are you willing to grow in CA practice? This is very important. You can analyze your friends sitting in surrounding of you and get them on your board. Conversion of proprietary to partnership. How many of you are ready? 12% are ready to change. So this is the success of today's session, that people are ready to change from proprietary to partnership. Admission of new partner. 16% says that they want new partners. This is a good thing. Then come the merging of firms. 11% are ready to merge the firm. So we just have to identify who are they and discuss informally, formally, and get merged. Then opening of branches outside the city, 23%. This is 23% thinking that they want branch outside the city. But let me frankly tell you, if you want a branch outside city, you must have a model office in this city, and you have to replicate that into the another city. So if you have done that stage, then go for the expansion, and 23% are ready to go outside city. That is a good thing. And then comes specialization. Specialization is 36%. So proprietors think they want to be specialized, but there is a risk in specializations. If that area goes down, your practice will go down. So please choose your area of specialization very seriously and do it. Then what is your overall view of CA practice? 47% say good, 29% say robust. वाह, हैदराबाद में सबसे ज़्यादा परसेंटेज है रोबोस्ट ग्रोथ का, गुड. देन डिफिकल्ट 10% एंड नॉर्मल 12%. सो ओवरऑल पिक्चर ऑफ प्रैक्टिस इज गुड, बट आई डोंट नो व्हाई पीपल थिंक कि प्रैक्टिस में मज़ा नहीं. हर बार ऐसा भी होता है, जनरल टॉक. देन डू यू हैव एनुअल मीट ऑफ योर क्लाइंट्स? नो, 59%, and 41% say yes. So please have annual meets. You will enjoy that fruits of the annual meet, and this should be planned every year. You can discuss knowledge, budget amendments or new amendments with your clients. Have the annual meets. Do you have office management software implemented in your office? Do not have, 61%. These may be the proprietors, small firms, but think of that in future. Yes, fully implemented 7% and partly implemented 40%, and this is the risk. We have the office management software, but we as a boss, as a head of the office, we ourselves don't follow that office management software. Then how our partners and our juniors or articles are going to follow it? So मुझे डिसिप्लिन में आना पड़ेगा. So for the success of office management software, I myself has to get in that and implement it. Then last, do you have annual growth plan of your office? 46% say yes, but not fully accomplished. So this is a candid opinion given, and I am happy that you have a plan, but it is not fully accomplished. If you have a plan, you will achieve some year or some day. Then don't have, 43%, this is not correct. You must have the plan. Whatever plan it may be an organizational plan that you want to have a new staff, you have a new office, you have a turnover increased, or a new services to be provided this year. Please have it and try to achieve it, and fully accomplish 10%. So I am happy. This is a positive response in that. Now at the last, your feedback for today's discussion, normal 6%. So it's a challenge to me to make more efforts to get a positive feedback. Then good, 34%. Thanks for all the panelists for these 34% feedbacks, and thanks to our past president Nilesh Vikamse sir. Because of him we have got 60%. 60% say it was a very good session, sir. So thanks to you, sir. And now this is the analysis with you all. Due to the time constraint, I am not sharing on the screen the detailed study which I have done for the WIRC 32 branches. I will, it's a 200 pages. I will put it into the WhatsApp group. You can study it later on. It's a complete analysis. Now at the end, I request Nilesh Vikamse sir to please give his concluding remarks, and then we will end the session. Over to you, sir.
I'm better with the hands free. I don't know, friends, what you felt, but I have been part of number of panel discussions in my career as a council member, president, vice president, and now as a past president. But I can only tell you that this has been the best panel discussion I have attended till date. Honest, to the core, lot of feedback, and I think if we can get some learnings out of this, it will be tremendous for whoever is present. I think those who are not present, it's their bad luck that they missed such a wonderful panel discussion. So full compliments to Deepak, Daya, and the whole managing committee for gathering such a wonderful, panel on this particular topic. Quickly summing up, first starting with young members, Abhishek, though you said that you didn't have any clarity, you started practice. I hope the other youngsters don't do that. But very important point he noted was independence. I think that's very crucial between a job and the practice, and the fact that he wanted to try out new areas. You mentioned, Abhishek, about challenges, employer, client management, not finding enough real path, which of course you'll evolve. But where you feel your experience is less in certain area, you might want to get exposed to some larger firm to get your experience sharing, as I told in my session. But employee mapping, say, we are not trained how to, but I'm very clear, the way corporates are doing it, we'll have to have that, in the sense the HR skills, whatever is required. 15, 20 years back, we are an 80-year-old firm, we didn't have a single person in HR. Now we've got 3 ladies in HR, and even then we feel it is not enough, we need to do more employee engagement. So that's the only way, if you want to grow, it will happen. One thing universal across all the 6 of them is on the future of CA practice. I think all of us should be happy that all of them said it is very, very good, except I would say Mr. Vikram. Of course, Mr. Vikram, I've heard about him from early days. In 1989 and 90, we were appointed as auditors of Central Bank, and the way I used to get feedback from Central Bank about Vikram and his firm, I know his firm indirectly, I never met him personally, but in the banking circles, one of the most respected firms, and he himself is, So I'll just, on the future of the practice, he mentioned that on the short term, he felt it is not very rosy, but I would just want to sort of correct myself, though the statistics are bad, in the sense of people joining, it's because the opportunities are more, not that in the practice the opportunities are less, but the number of diverse areas where people can go into now, as you rightly said, for the next gen, but practice remains, on the short term also, in my view, it is very, very positive. Coming to the mid-sized firms, Gaurav, what can I say? I think you are my role model as far as the startup is concerned. All of us are endeavoring to get into the startup space, and the way you are, working in that area, virtual CFO, the direct tax, the bridge CFO when there's a fundraising, earlier on the selling side, now on the buying side. This is like I could hear an investment banker talking rather than a chartered accountant. Sell side, buy side. And you said financially secure, money should make money, very important. One point where Umesh mentioned, and I think some others mentioned, on the other sources of income, I would earnestly request, capital market in my view is very good, trading is not, investment is good. So the difference between trading, you need not be day in and day out looking at the stock prices in the sense of trading in stocks, but do investment. And I can only share again our own experience, my own experience, my firm's experience, my family experience. For us, practice has been bread and butter. The cream has come from investment, where we don't look at it on a day-to-day basis. We are chartered accountants, we can analyze, invest well, let it mature. So we've got a very fanciful office. Our house also is in a very good, society and all. Is all thanks to investments. But that investments also, it has arisen due to the practice, the connects which we get in the practice, the advice which we get. But no trading. Believe me, the moment you start trading, you maybe forget, the expertise will be lost, as Vikram said. That was as far as very interesting what he said at this young age, Gaurav, that they're looking at the next hierarchy, not only vertical but horizontal. So not only below but parallel, and very important. I think it's very difficult to go horizontally. Vertically, of course, we'll keep on having layers and layers of people underneath. So very important message for all of us there. On the future of CA practice, very positive effect of technology, managing, they're doing health. I already mentioned and sort of Gaurav reiterated, so no, gainsaying that. What do I talk of Rajambal? Of course, very, very candid again. Thanks for being so candid. Very important message for our young lady members there and old lady members, that the work-life balance, let's not grumble. It's a fact, it's a challenge. But luckily, Rajambal had her own mother as a, role model after 8 hours in court and maybe office and then, working the midnight oil. I think all of us in different areas, we keep on doing the work-life balancing. There are challenging times. The fact that initially getting clients was difficult, the working capital management, that's what Vikram also highlighted. Initial 3 to 5 years, you'll have to be very, very, this thing. Never trust clients. I think that I like that point. I didn't share some of my other experiences also. Maybe today I'll be missing my flight if I keep on saying more, but I would fully agree with her. You are part of family when it comes to, a lot of other things. But when it comes to paying your fees or being honest with you, you're not part of the family. So I would agree with that term. However bad it may, never trust clients. I would agree with that, term what she mentioned. Again, the advice she got on embracing technology from the clients is good. Her experiences with working woman colleagues in Prerna, in seniors, how they supported her own age group, male members, how, again, a lesson for a lot of members here. I think I have generally, never felt that in my life, whether it is male or female or whatever, at least I have been lucky as far as getting cooperation and advice and support from everyone. So there's no point, I think you're harming yourself. Who is, treating somebody else badly, who is intimating somebody else or is jealous, I think he's putting a detriment to himself rather than, and he's making the other person stronger. I think I would compliment you, it made you stronger. So it's a lesson for all of us, let's not do that. Rewards, again you said more than satisfaction, immeasurable rewards the quality of life, so it's been wonderful. Mithilesh, now I don't know, the only person whom I had to comment in between, fantastic, this thing, people, quality of mindset, own the brand, own the culture. I think we talk of the large firms, large firms are doing this, that, but the way we are also evolving now as a firm, we are 85, he is doing it much earlier, the 10, 20 years, 15 years of practice. We are doing the same thing, what he said, I could not articulate it in that manner. You need to create your branding, you need to create your culture, and each culture is different. See, the large firms, it's only a rat race, it's only a political culture, it's all the wrong, unethical things which they do, whatever the large names will be, but you can have your own space if you stand out, and I would only, sort of reiterate whatever he said, please sort of, list down whatever he said and implement it. Wonderful, things Mithilesh has said on the networking. In Gujarati, there's a saying, Dunya mein sauthi moti khan, od khan, means the biggest mine in the world is the relationship or the networking which you have. So Mithilesh, of course, fantastic. I'll not go more. On Murali Krishnan, again, he mentioned that what is the value of partnership is, of course, trust. I won't agree more with him. There has to be trust within the partnership. We want to continue. Expectation from juniors fit into the firm at the earliest. Coming on the sacrifice, he mentioned there is no need of sacrifice, and I would stand to disagree a bit there, Murali. And again, this I'm saying from family-owned firms. I'm not talking of the typical professional firms right from beginning. There may not be sacrifice, but say for example, a firm like us, you need to invest, you need to grow, and certain times the family or the main partners have to take a sacrifice. In the interim phase, when the firm is growing, investments are needed, and we can discuss that. Again, a very important message Murali mentioned is application of knowledge. And again, I would fully agree with him. I've seen many of us are very knowledgeable. It comes to academic knowledge, but it comes to application of knowledge. There's a Jameen Asman ka farak bolte na, between knowledge and application of knowledge. So, very important point which he highlighted. Again, very bullish on the practice. And again, from Vikram's perspective, fantastic, points, especially for the youngsters, enthusiasm, delivery, work on time without supervision. I think these are all traits, one should not be reminded. We discussed about other sources. What stage should CA retire? He said, till the time you enjoy, don't retire. And I would agree with that. Of course, you may change the pace of your working. On the next gen, I would say, in my own family, Vikram, there are a number of CAs, majority of them are CAs in the larger family. Of course, none of them is currently part of the firm. They are all exploring different avenues. We hope at a certain point of time they feel the firm is worth enough to have them back because they've got larger and better opportunities as of now. But in one way it is good. It allows other people to, progress. They know there's no competition from the family. So I think for the firm it is good. That is, the next gen need not come in, and so others also can, it doesn't stifle growth. There is a career path for many of the people. And we have seen the moment we have started, promoting people within the firm, the retention has increased. So that's the message. So thanks. It has been a fun, wonderful, sort of a session. Umesh, Daya, Deepak, all of you have managed a fantastic. I hope whoever is there, I wish more people would have benefited. To the people who are present here, let it just not be something good to hear. Please implement whatever you can. Digest whatever you can. We'll be sharing the presentation. The proof of the cake will be in the implementation. Otherwise, it will be, a meaningful exercise, meaningless exercise. Thank you. Slide.
Thank you, Nilesh sir. And frankly tell you all, it is my dream come true. I was dreaming that when I will share the dais with Nilesh sir, and today the dream has come true. Thanks to Daya sir and Deepak for this opportunity. And at the end, action points you must have noted. Change your approach from fearing to learning, learning to growing. And let's conclude, rethink, reunion, replan and restart and rerun your business or practice management. This is there. At the end, sorry for any errors or omissions from my part. I know मेरी इंग्लिश भी अच्छी नहीं है, हिंदी भी अच्छी नहीं है. मैं हर बार कहता हूँ कि मेरी भावनाओं को समझो, मेरी भाषा पे मत जाओ. So thanks to you all. You have given the chance to stand before you. And these are the few success stories which people WhatsApp me. And it is very appreciating. They started regular meeting in office, CA in Dhulia. They started renovating the office. He was thinking that infrastructure se kya hoga, but he started renovating. Two friends, those who were present in the session, they started a partnership firm. Later on, they WhatsApp me. Few of them started office management software. Some started with the new energy.
Your permission, can I run my flight?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At the end, I thanks to Hyderabad branch and keep in touch. Experience inspirations. Thank you.
Deepak, with your permission, can I leave?
Thank you. Sir, 1 minute. I request all MC members to come onto the dais. Sir, Daya sir.